All right, so let's go full silly now, and we'll do what I mentioned before. Make some sort of giant bear head a tunnel that the ball will go through if it goes up this ramp. So like into the mouth and then back around, which is actually a typical thing with the pinball table. You'll see some, kind of like one exaggerated element, something like that, big clown head that the ball goes through or something. The real trick here is obviously just illustrating it and. What other advice can I give you other than just kind of hang on and let's see where this goes. On your end, obviously you're not going to probably do a giant bear head, but find some reference on the internet, something close to what you want to draw, and take your best stab at it. This I did actually find. I saw plenty of pictures of bears. Let's put it that way, but there was. A picture of a bear with his mouth wide open, so I kind of just exaggerated from there. So this is kind of basically the snout of the bear. I'll make the nose up here. I'm gonna tilt this down a little bit, and definitely in terms of the kit, this would be something you could do. Let me make sure everything's locked but this part. And this would just be a typical image that you throw over top everything else. The ball doesn't need to interact with it in a physics sense. It just has to visually seem like it's going to go through it. What you would probably end up doing though is obviously you'd end up having kind of a cut through this piece of artwork when you export it out, so that so the bottom tongue is below what we end up creating over here on the top. But as I'm just sketching it out here, I'm just gonna do it as one piece. That's typical. I'll worry about exporting things out after I've actually kind of gotten an illustration that I like. So if you can kind of imagine, again, nose is over here, the rest of the bear head is over this way, and we're just basically making a tunnel through here. So let's get just any other shape for right now, and we're going to just draw on top of that, just kind of cut through there. So you kind of see it yet? Let's go ahead and make it into a symbol. So mouth, and let's add probably just maybe a bevel would actually look okay. Let's take the strength down though, so it's something more like that. Maybe give it a kind of a harder edge than usual, so taking the blur down, and then I'm going to take the shadow coloring on the black and decrease that a bit. I like this side of it more than I like that side, so let's put it that way. Maybe do just a bit more. I don't want them overlapping as part of it, but I think I could actually make this a little bit thicker anyway. But yeah, pan out just a tad. Okay, I'm gonna rotate it just a little bit. I feel like that flows a bit better. And then let's put the old tongue in there. So this is gonna be. So I'm gonna put this on a layer above that one, and let's just not worry about the stroke. I'll probably handle the dimension of this with some filtering. And I'm just gonna cut that part off. Just kind of round that into that little area. Let's try just copying the same filter that we have on the head. Copy filters, call this tongue, paste it on in there, and in this case I think we could take the distance up a little bit, maybe swing the angle around a tad too, something more like that, and just gonna take that blurring on the Y up a bit. Let's pan out and just see what it's looking like. Okay, so far it's all right. Let me just adjust the angle a little bit on this as well. So you might want something a little bit more like that. In which case, I lose something over here which I kind of liked, which would just be, I could replace it with just sampling that color, and again just working on any layer above it. Let's just zoom in some. Just put that over there. So then, yeah, that brings it back, and might even consider doing a bit more of it, something like that. So this would be kind of that little typical line down the middle of it. Most animals' faces, and let's just go ahead and put that in there. I'll try dark stroke color. Let's set this to something a little bit bigger, maybe like about 6, maybe 4. So kind of run that right up to the nose. And speaking of, let's make that nose. I'm just going to make a blank layer below everything else I've got. And let's start with just a black color. Put that nose right over there. Kind of make it seem like it's tilted down a little bit. And we could maybe try, let me get rid of the stroke, maybe just try a couple nostrils in there, something like this. And let's call it nose. Call this nose line. We'll just call this highlight. Okay, so now we got something of a mouth in there. We should try to. It looks a little funny. Let's try to get the rest of the bear's head inside of, or just going out to about there. And I'll start with black. Let me take everything that I've already done, just put it into one layer on top of most everything else. And then let's start with just drawing some circles. I'm going to work a layer below. So I'm going to pull that up to there, and then put kind of a little, basically like a little crease or something at that point. And I imagine the eyes would be right about over there and some ears over here. And we could maybe even do something that visually appears like it's below the track for part of the neck of the head, if we don't feel like we've got enough bear in there. Who knows, maybe even have some big giant bear claws coming out. So for the eyes, and actually let's go ahead and just make this into a symbol, bear head 1. And you know what, this would look good with a little drop shadowing, something that's a bit gray. So I'm going to do inner shadow, set that to gray. Yeah, just something like that. There we go. Okay, so eyes at this angle would be circles, probably cut in half on the bottoms. So let's just work above that layer. So you got something like this happening. And then just take a line or any other shape, just cut it through there and get rid of that bottom part. Get rid of the line now. And probably arc that up. I think you could then take a circle. Let's get rid of the stroke. Do something like this. Get some big old bear eyes. And do a little circle over here. Looks like he's looking up. Oh, something like that. I kind of like that weird blank look. Let's copy what we've got over here, and I'm just gonna make it into a symbol. We'll call this bear eye. Although, I spelled it wrong anyway. But I don't think I was in danger of already having a symbol in the library with the name bear eye. And for the other eye, we could just do probably a smaller version of what we've already got. Let's see how that looks. I do kind of want to keep the perspective somewhat, in our top-down view, although maybe the track is tilted a little bit so we can kind of justify the bear's head being leaning toward us some. In fact, we could probably even take that down a tad. And then let's get the bear ear in there. So just something like this. Don't want to Mickey Mouse it too much. Let's call it bear ear. Do another one on the other side. And just kind of arrange that backwards. I think I need to be down another layer. Not exactly looking like the most ferocious bear. Let's try working that neck in there, just below the head, and to start this off, let's just work on this layer that's already empty below it. Let's see if we can pull this off. If nothing else, a little shadowing underneath is definitely due. I almost think I like it like that better. Let's try this. I'm gonna just take this symbol and let me duplicate it. I'm just gonna get rid of that stroke, and I think I'm just gonna use this for making a big old shadow under there. So I'll blur it out some too. And let's yeah, it's okay. Let's bring this down just a little bit. Oh, that was the shadow, sorry. I might try, let me swing the drop shadow around a little bit. Let's see what that would look like over there. Just to give it some indication that maybe, there's a separation between the bear's head and this other part. That actually, yeah, looks a little bit better. Let's try putting in a kind of a swooping bear claw over top. And what I'll do is I'll take just about, let me grab the top of the bear head. Let's just call it bear head for now. And this bottom part, I'm going to move down to one of my completed layers of stuff, or that's the shadow. So I'll take all that and I'm going to move it just down below there. And then I guess I'll just put my bear head over there too. Just looking to free up a few layers, and then yeah, let's draw on that that shadow, the claw, which would maybe just be something like this. Don't want to make it too intimidating or too intense to draw. something just kind of coming out like that. Maybe do one point here and whatever would be considered a bare thumb. Let me just make it into a symbol, bear claw. We could probably do some work with some filtering. But let's put it behind the bear head, obviously. Oop, don't want it behind the path, though. Oh, I might have to just rearrange the path a little bit, too. That's probably part of the problem. And in fact, that path is definitely something that would be on our bottommost layer, so let's go ahead and do that. Okay, I already like that a little bit more. Let me just do a quick drop shadow and put that like an actual drop shadow, not one that we're going to do on the inside, and just see what this would look like down there. And then let's do quick bevel, just see. Maybe it's okay. I mean, hey, it was basically a 2-minute claw. What can you expect? This could be something, though, that you, using the actions in the timeline in Xcode, that you animate. Obviously, you could do a sequence of animations here in Flash and export those out. But you can also just animate things and have them rotate on the timeline in Xcode. That's really easy. So you could have something like this going on, which reminds me of almost like a putt-putt course. It has those kind of animatronic stuff. But pinball tables definitely have them too. Sorry, I'm just getting rid of those little bear tracks. But yeah, that would look kind of fun. Something to get the ball under. Let's copy out this claw. Maybe do one more. Just see what this would look like over here. Let's angle this down a bit. And probably we would want to duplicate it anyway. So we'll call it bear claw 2. And maybe this one isn't jutting so much out of the ground. Let's just kind of do something like that. I do think I like the stroke around it, though, so I'll be sure that I add that back. Ended up getting deleted. And then let's get rid of that drop shadow for right now. Oh, how would that look? Not good. The pivot points, I should adjust that. There we go. Makes it easier to swivel that around. But let's grab this the large drop shadow I had before, just a separate one, and I'm going to try to just move that, put that underneath that bear claw. But yeah, that could work as another thing to rotate. You'd probably need to put the pivot point somewhere over here. And if it was subtle, I think that would kind of work well with that one. Let's see. Definitely draws your eye to it, that's for sure. Let me try adjusting the bevel on that some. And maybe the Y blurring. To get it perfect, I think I'd probably have to go in and maybe make another shape inside of there. Just something similar to what I did with this. This one black line within here is kind of a little much. Let me take the alpha down. But yeah, it's I think it's kind of fun. Make it a little bit bigger. It does feel like it's part of this track, and it didn't mean for this this line to actually seem like it's, the line of the rail kind of works in with that bear claw. That wasn't intentional, but I don't dislike it either. There's something to it. Almost looks like you could maybe go down two different pathways, but yeah, there we go. All right, so I might tinker a little bit, but it's been 20 minutes, so let's cut this, and I think it's a success.